just like fire, burning up the way. If I can light the world up for just one day, watch this madness, colorful charade. No one can be just like me anyway.
Hey y'all, welcome back to another episode of Fabulous Makeup. Today's video is all about the pastels, that last little bit of summer we got going on before fall hits, but a little bit of inspired from the changing leaves and colors that are happening. First off, I'm starting with the brow pencil, Precisely My Brow from Benefit Cosmetics number 5. It's not the darkest, it's second to darkest. I wanted my brows to be a little bit lighter today, but still shaped and, expressive, but I don't want them too bold. And I'm using the other side, which has a spoolie on it, to blend the front of the brow, just to give a little fade.
Yeah, girl snatch.
To fill in my brows, I'm using Anastasia Brow Powder Duo in the shade Ebony. Now this one is the darker shade from this brand. And I'll use this to fill out the last 3/4 of the brow. I try to stay away from the front of the brow because I don't like having, blocky brows as much anymore. But sometimes it happens. Depends on what the look I'm doing. Today was pretty light with the brows though. A subtle highlight and conceal underneath the brows using Femme Couture High Coverage Concealer. This is that moussey clay pot stuff that I use lately for the base. I'm using that as the base today as well, but I'm also using it underneath the brows to clean up. And then on the top of the brows, I actually switched it up today and just used my foundation. And the foundation today I used was from CoverGirl. And, I'm honestly not the biggest fan of CoverGirl, but I bought them like a long time ago before I, knew better. And decided that I would try this out just to, use it up because I bought it. I have to use it, y'all. It's gotta get going. Now once I get that all situated on the lid, I will blend it out with a fluffy clean brush. Make sure that there's nothing on it because I've had a couple of times where I've taken a brush and just blended it out and oh yeah, there's some darkness or some color or something I just didn't need. So you gotta make sure your brushes are clean before you do anything with them. I set it with some Sacha Buttercup setting powder, and today I'm using the Technique de Brazil palette. And I've been working this palette, y'all. Taking this light magenta, kind of fuchsia, hot pink, a little bit all three, I guess. It's a special color. Apply that on the outer part of the lid, actually most of the outer half of the lid, and fade it towards the middle. And this color by itself wasn't going to blend easily with the yellow, so I actually had to dip into another color. We're going to get to that in just a second. But right now I'm just applying the color gradually in the same spot to get it nice and pigmented and fading it towards the middle of the eyelid. Now to help blend these colors together, I'm actually using this salmon shade and very lightly dusting that right on top of the faded part of the hot pink. This is going to help blend the yellow and the hot pink together. Yes, y'all, I'm using the yellow today because I was just feeling it today. I was feeling it. However, this yellow is just a little bit stubborn to build up. It does pack on really nicely, but then once it sets, because I find that eyeshadow does kind of set on the lid after a while if you let it sit for a little bit. After this yellow sets and sits, it does fade away a little bit. So I actually put 2 layers of this yellow on, and that was the first thing that helped fade the pink and yellow together. And then I actually had to dip into the yellow next to it to make it a little bit brighter. But even then, it wasn't really as bright as I wanted it to be. You can see it's still yellow. You get the sense that it's yellow and everything, but I knew it was going to be coming out pastel, so that's why I actually used the hot pink by itself and then faded it out lightly because I knew the yellow was just going to be, soft. I lightly blended the edges of the colors with the Morphe M564 brush. I didn't use any transition shades today though. I just blended the colors out by themselves and softened them up. And then as you can see, I went back between the yellow and the orange and the hot pink just to create even more of a fade on the eyelid. For the inner corner and brow highlight, I'm going for the Anastasia Powder Contour Kit. This is medium to tan. And for the waterline, I'm using Palladio gel liner. I know it's not called black, but the side of the name was rubbed off, so I have no clue what this is actually called, but obviously it's black. Then I'll set and smudge it out with some black shadow from the Technique de Brazil palette. I tried to stick with the same palette, y'all, and I was actually quite successful with that, so I was pretty happy. And for the liner today, I'm using the L'Oreal Paris Carbon Black liquid liner. I'm actually getting down to the barrel of some of my liners, so yeah. I just had to use what I had, and I'm not the biggest fan of liquid liners because it stresses me out a little bit, but I managed to get through it, and the wings actually weren't too bad. I decided to go ahead and be extra today and use glitter on top of the liner. This is black glitter from Stila Cosmetics. This is Magnificent Liquid Glitter Eyeshadow, and it's one of the many ones that I have, but I hadn't tried this black one yet. And you want to be careful with it if you're using it on your black liner because it's pigmented. It's really pigmented, y'all. So if you mess up your wing, you're gonna have to clean it up, which is I did, so I had to clean it up. But that's just a warning. It does work out, but just got to be careful with it. On the bottom lash line, I first dipped into the salmon shade and smudged out the black. And then on top of that, I went with the magenta and mixed in a little bit of the orange. Actually, I didn't show it, but I did use a little bit of red on the bottom lash line too because it was coming out a little purple, but it all worked out. Thank y'all so much for watching, and I hope y'all enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, and if you're returning members, hello lovelies, good to see y'all. We popping out these videos like they candy, y'all. That doesn't really add up, doesn't really make sense, but you know what, it's fine, it's fine. Stay beautiful, my beautiful people. Much love.